Hey guys, and welcome to another Polymer clay tutorial. Today we are going to create Thanos from the Marvel movie Avengers Endgame, but also the game mode in Fortnite Season 8 Endgame. And we will also create this amazing stand to show how powerful Thanos really is.
ClayClaim.
This is a safe place. There won't be any spoilers for the new Avengers Endgame movie. Mainly because I haven't seen it yet. So don't worry, we will just focus on the creation itself. And maybe also on a psychological experiment, since this is a clay channel. This completely makes sense. But let's talk about the starting point first of this creation, the posture. I thought it would be quite amazing to create this attack from Fortnite, the game mode Endgame, where you can play Thanos and where he is jumping into the air and crushing down with his Infinity Gaunlet, crushing down on the ground. Here you can see it. And later we also try to create the flying stones in the air. But for now, this posture is quite important. This is the starting point. Every other working step which is following right now needs the right posture. Otherwise it just would look creepy in the end. And we don't want Thanos to look creepy, because then he would be really sad. We start with some black clay and we will coat it around the wire. And while doing so, I already told you about this psychological experiment I'm doing with you. Well, there is this meme. Since the Infinity War movie, Thanos did nothing wrong. Probably you know this. Still popular. And although I don't like it much, this meme stands for the point of view you are having. Bad guys in movies are doing bad stuff, for example. From their perspective, they are cleaning the world or achieving bigger goals, however they think it is worth it and that they are on the only true and good way. This is what the meme means to me. Thanos did nothing wrong. So I was wondering if you would trust Thanos in real life. If you were real, would you give him your wallet, for example? Please participate in this poll. We need this data for our psychological experiment. Since this is a clay channel, it makes sense. Now, if I would tell you some facts, fun facts and charming details about Thanos, would you trust him with even more stuff? Thanos likes to eat his Fruit Loops after sorting them by color in his breakfast bowl. Now you have to picture him where he is sitting on the breakfast table and he's just playing in the bowl. It's such a lovely atmosphere. When Thanos is sad, he starts to play on his ukulele old Beatles songs. True story. When Thanos is sad, he watches Dirty Dancing until he feels good again. And he's eating Fruit Loops while doing so. I mean, have you ever thought about all these bad guys in the movies, what they are doing while no one is watching? They probably also go to the loo, they have to eat, they order some pizza, maybe they watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles while doing so. Or maybe they are just drawing doing some tiny scribbles of their favorite childhood heroes, something like that. And even Thanos did that, probably. And you just feel that this guy is probably quite nice, maybe misunderstood, but he's true to himself. And now, please answer this question as well. Would you trust Thanos with your mobile phone? And now we can compare the data. This is what it was about. Although these were some nonsense facts, I'm really curious how the second question performed compared to the first question. Yeah, maybe this was just nonsense for you, but for me, I'm really looking forward to see these results. Yeah. So, while doing the replay for Thanos, I was playing Fortnite. And, well, playing Fortnite is always a challenge for me. Well, because I should show you some screenshots, what happens when I go into Fortnite. Since I am playing default skin, everyone goes into default skin. Or a little bit later. It was hilarious. If you want to add me as a friend in Fortnite, just look for ClayClaim. And well, I enjoyed playing with you a lot. Most of the time I don't really play much. I'm more looking for some locations or doing some research on some new skins, for example. And in these games I've been playing, yesterday for example, 15 people wanted to protect me, which was just amazing. It was really helpful because then I could do all the recordings for this guy, for Thanos, for example. And it's also nice to speak with you. Well, I had some problems with my mic, but after I figured out how it will work, I had also the chance to talk to some of you guys. So if you want to talk to me in person, Fortnite could be a nice way, so just add me as a friend right there. So we are doing some progress on the creation. This is the skin color of Thanos. I hope I get this color right, but I think it should really match the skin color from the movie. This is the right arm pointing to the sky. And the fingers are not protected, but the arm will be covered in armor. And his left arm is going down to the ground. And this is of course the arm with the Infinity Gaunlet we will create after finishing this guy. There is still a lot to do on this creation. I try to get all the details right. This is all the armor around the neck. It's made of different layers as well. We have this huge golden one right in the middle. What I really love about this creation, it looks really complicated, and it took me probably 7 hours to create, which is a lot. But I only had to use like 4 different colors. I think so, yeah. It's the black as base layer. We have the pearl black, which is mainly the dark silver. We have gold and this purple for the skin color. So it's not much. I think that's it, yeah. Yeah, maybe the all the tiny colored stones in the Infinite Gaunlet, of course. Some stripes on this part of the armor. I hope I get this right as well. This is the back side. Well, normally I don't spend that much time on the back side of any Fortnite skin, for example, but I just love the design of this guy, of the armor, so I wanted to be as accurate as possible on the front side, but also on the back side. This was too much. Now let's place the next layer and we can work on the details on the front. I think this is the most difficult part of this creation. You have these thin layers of clay and you have to get them into shape. And this is quite difficult to get all the proportions right, that they are fitting. Well, it's quite easy to use a golden stripe like this one, but the layer underneath, for example, where you have some details in the shape, is way more difficult. Or pieces like these, for example, also quite difficult to get them in the right size. So I really hope the blueprints I am creating are helpful for you, or if you want to start creating any other character, you can get the clay I am using and also my tools in my online store. You just visit ClayClaim.com. I am shipping worldwide, so you can just have a look. Of course, you can buy it mainly everywhere. It's the brand is called Fimo. Maybe you can also get it in a hardware store, for example. But for those of you who don't have any chance in getting this type of clay and want to work with the same materials I am using, this could be a nice way. So just go to ClayClaim.com. These are some more details, and now this is the mixture we are doing for the Infinity Gaunlet, sorry. I think I said it wrong many times. It was quite difficult to create because it was already attached to the arm. So I could not rotate it as a piece. For example, to create the backside. Well, this was just a little bit complicated, but I think I managed it somehow. Now this piece, there should go all the details, the different gemstones, all the colors, and they are in these tiny rings. We start with the big one and also the green one for the thumb, and now we can place them onto the gauntlet. I don't really get it why it's called gauntlet. For me it's just a glove. Maybe you can explain it to me if you are more familiar with the Marvel universe. So this is the last detail, and now we can focus on the head. As you know, I am really bad in creating human faces. Well, happy me that Thanos is not human. He looks more like a monster, of course. Doing some mistakes in the face design won't be that bad in the end, but well, let's see how it turns out. And it's also covered with a helmet. I know in the movie he's not wearing a helmet, at least the trailer I have seen. I told you before, I haven't seen Endgame yet. But as he has this helmet in the game mode in Fortnite, I thought it would be quite nice to create this helmet as well. So, my son, the older one, not the baby son. He is closing his eyes because right now where he is hitting the ground, I think there is so much force coming from the gauntlet, and it just should look like as if he is saying you understand me, right? So it should not be a relaxing phase. It should be quite concentrating. These These are the side parts of the helmet. Is it just me, or does it look like a bicycle helmet? And we are ready to go into the oven. Meanwhile, we will create the stand for Thanos. These are two different kinds of brown. I just roughly mixed them because it should look like a bit dirty. Now the edge. I am doing a similar technique I did many times on the Clash Royale stands. And now we will create some tiles, some gray tiles, which go on top. And I will cut them so that it looks like as if they were breaking or as if they are already broken. And the fist, the gauntlet, just goes right there. But the tiles are very tiny. Maybe we can even place some black clay right in the middle. And you know what? We should go for some grass. We should create some grass pieces. This is a technique I already did on the visitor skin from Fortnite. Yeah, that's right. I really liked the effect. The ones next to the hole should be darker, so I mixed in some black clay for the grass pieces. This is some wire. We will need that for the flying stones later after oven hardening. And these are the tiny stones, and we are ready to go into the oven. Freshly baked Thanos and freshly baked stand. Landscape, destroyed landscape, Bay Thanos. We take this gray pen to make the landscape even more dirty, because it looked just too clean. Maybe some more cracks on the ground, and we can place him right there. Oh, it already looks so amazing. Now let's take some wool, some blue wool and some white. Well, the effect in the game is even more floated with effects, but I didn't want to ruin this. I don't want to ruin the scenery by using too much wool. These are the stones we are placing. And well, the last working step would be to draw these symbols onto the gauntlet, the Infinity Gaunlet, I'm sorry. You can either go with black, I'm doing right now, or the one I did before. And whoops, I forgot these two pieces on the armor, which go to the side of Thanos. And we are placing him onto the stand. And guys, I can't believe it! That's it! Thanos! Sponsored by the Infinity Gaunlet.
I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm really glad I finally got the time to create Thanos. I really love this guy, especially with this stand. I'm proud and happy I finally made it. I guess that's it for today. Have a great weekend and take care, guys. Bye. Whoa. I think I broke the chair.